KSAT 12. The 6 o'clock news starts right now.
He watched her face as she reacted. Today, a detective took the stand in a capital murder trial detailing how a woman who survived that shooting identified the suspect.
That man on trial is Jonathan Johnson. He's accused in the murder of 2 people back in 2019. Now, prosecutors say the motive for these killings was an argument over a cell phone plan. Erica Hernandez with today's testimony.
The prosecution today laying out the investigation that led to the arrest of Jonathan Johnson. Johnson is charged with capital murder for a deadly shooting at the Robin's Nest Apartments off Hot Wells Boulevard in 2019. An SAPD detective testified that the surviving victim, Angelica Rangel, was unwavering in who she believed was the shooter, and that she was able to identify him from a Facebook video from her hospital bed.
I'm watching her, and I just play from the beginning, and I just let it play, and then I would see her face, and she visibly reacts. She said, like that's the person that shot me.
A firearms expert from the Bexar County Crime Lab discussed the 13 shell casings found at the crime scene, and while the murder weapon was never found, it was determined a 9mm semi-automatic pistol was used.
I was able to determine that the marks were consistent with all 13 cartridge cases, and I was able to determine they were all fired in one gun.
The medical examiner also took the stand to explain her autopsy report on the victims. 19-year-old Andres Rangel was shot 4 times, and 18-year-old Katrina Cáceres shot twice.
What was the cause of death?
Gunshot wounds to the head and shoulder.
And the manner of death?
Homicide.
Tomorrow morning, the state is expected to put its last witness on the stand. That is the lead detective in this case. And then it will be the defense's turn to present its case. We could go into jury deliberations as early as tomorrow afternoon or possibly Friday morning. At the Cadena Reeves Justice Center, Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
The Bexar County medical examiner identified a woman who was shot through the door of her apartment. 49-year-old Cristina Carrion died last night. Investigators say this happened about 10 p.m. at an apartment complex on Penn Road near West Military Drive and Highway 90. You can actually see 3 bullet holes in the front door. Police are not sure if the home was the shooter's intended target. 3 people were inside at the time. Tonight on the Night Beat, we're hearing from one of those survivors, Carrion's adult daughter, what she has to say about the terrifying moments their family was attacked.
A photo lineup led to the arrest of a man accused of robbing an auto parts store. 34-year-old Mark Palomino now facing a robbery charge for this case that happened back on March 22nd. This happened at the O'Reilly Auto Parts off of Austin Highway. According to the arrest affidavit, Palomino allegedly grabbed merchandise and tried to leave the store without paying. The store manager confronted Palomino, and that's when police say that he allegedly threatened to shoot the manager. Security footage was released, and the police say that a tip to Crime Stoppers identified Palomino. His bond is set at $20,000.
The public played a big part. A veteran and 3-time Paralympian thankful to have his stolen gold medals back in his hands this evening. This as we finally get a look at the suspect accused in the burglary. Jen Lee's tweet showing suspect Rogelio Solis allegedly breaking into his car, stealing his backpack with the medals inside, went viral over the weekend. It caught the attention of SAPD Chief William McManus, who says this quick of a resolution wouldn't have been possible if it weren't for the social media response. The backpack found abandoned at a fire station just a day after it was stolen from Lee's car at the Rim. McManus says he's thrilled by the way the community and police came together.
I'm just very happy that this is a happy ending for Mr. Lee, and he can move on without the void of having those medals gone.
As for Solis, he was picked up by the U.S. Marshals Service Lone Star Fugitive Task Force near Roosevelt Avenue and 410. He's facing charges involving theft and burglary of a vehicle.
San Antonio police say rain was a factor in a crash that left 1 person dead and sent another to the hospital. This crash happened just before 1:30 this morning on Callahan Road, just south of Ingram Road. Police say a pickup truck driver hydroplaned into the opposite lanes, hit a pole, and then was sent off the road. The driver died there at the scene. The passenger was taken to University Hospital. Just $20. An argument over $20 led to a shooting. This happened after 3 a.m. on Thorane Boulevard, not far from Blanco and I-10. San Antonio police say a 36-year-old man was shot in the leg over that. He was taken to University Hospital. The suspect ran off, and police say ditched the gun in front of a nearby home.
It's inevitable. San Antonio City Council districts have to change. The question that remains is how. After every census, the city has to take a look at all 10 district maps to make sure they have about the same number of residents in each council district. Today, city council members presented with the first draft of a map that would shift the boundaries of almost every council district. But what does that mean for you and me? Well, City Hall reporter Garrett Berger joined us live after a council meeting where they actually reacted to the first draft of this map. Garrett.
At its core, this determines who represents you on city council and who you might need to turn to if you have an issue in your neighborhood. But city staff say there have been some recurring questions and misconceptions that keep coming up. So staff and co-chairs of the committee that drew this new plan, or this new draft map, emphasized that the district map does not affect things like who represents you at the state or federal levels, what school your kids go to, or your access to city services, libraries, or senior centers, and not how quickly police or fire will respond to you in an emergency.
We wanted to be sure that people were clear that we're going to move in some areas district lines, but when you call the police are still going to come. When you call the fire department, they're still going to come. They're not going to stop at a district line and say, oh, no, that's another district. Your response and your response time would not be impacted by that.
District 2's Jalen McKee Rodriguez has voiced concerns that switching districts from one district to another could affect street funding for a particular area, but the city manager says things like street maintenance are done based on need, irrespective of the district. Now, if you want to give your opinion on what this new draft map looks like, we've got information on how you can do it. You just need to find the redistricting story on our website, KSAT.com. Live at City Hall, I'm Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Garrett. The Justice Department announcing just a little more than 30 minutes ago they will be filing an appeal in hopes of overturning the removal of the federal mask mandate. That removal order coming from a Florida judge earlier this week. As of now, masks are not federally required on planes, trains, and other forms of public transportation. For the latest on the guidance locally, we have that information online at KSAT.com.
Meanwhile, we all know that oak pollen right now is a mess for just about everything, including your allergies. And then after 2 years of dealing with COVID, you might be wondering if all that sniffling and sneezing could be more than allergies. Courtney Friedman spoke to an infectious disease expert to find out what symptoms you should consider suspicious.
This KSAT weather graph shows oak pollen levels this season. It's on par with other years, but that doesn't comfort allergy sufferers right now as oak reaches its peak.
Most of San Antonio is covered with yellow dust right now, so we're seeing a lot of itchy, watery eyes, runny nose, and sneezing.
Dr. Jason Bowling is an infectious disease expert with University Health and UT Health San Antonio and taught us in past interviews that some of Omicron's symptoms mimicked allergies. With Omicron's subvariant still the main strain circulating, this continues to be the case.
We're seeing more cough, maybe some sore throat, and some runny nose. We're not seeing what we saw at the beginning of the pandemic, is where people would have high fevers, horrible chest pain, shortness of breath. Now, we still see that occasionally, but we see that less frequently than we did at the beginning.
Bowling says warning signs that you should get a COVID test include fever, significant fatigue, body aches, and loss of taste or smell, especially as cases rise in parts of the country.
Even in San Antonio now, there's a little bit of an uptick. Our test positivity bumped up to 3.7% from 2%. So we are seeing some increased cases of COVID. We just had a large 2-week party here in San Antonio, so people have been around.
So when in doubt, grab a COVID test or head to the doctor. Even if it's not COVID, it could be the flu or another type of infection. Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
There are now 15 new U.S. citizens after the naturalization ceremony today at the federal courthouse. Last year, more than 800,000 people became naturalized citizens. Despite the group being small today, they hailed from several countries like Mexico, Algeria, China, Chile, just to name a few. Those in attendance say it was special to experience the event together.
Something that was touching for me was to have someone next to me from Russia, and right next to her, this lady from Ukraine. So it's something important for humanity to have that union.
All right, did you notice the building behind her? Today's ceremony actually happened at the new federal courthouse that was unveiled today. Construction on the building started back in 2019.
During National Donate Life Month, we want to bring awareness to what being an organ donor can do for someone. That was the topic of today's KSAT Community Town Hall. According to the United Organ Sharing Network, living organ donors increase the existing organ supply. That means an organ donated from a person who's living is better for the recipient. It's a process that one doctor from University Health says is safe.
I have not heard of a donor death in the United States in a number of years. So, I mean, the risks are there. The risks are extremely low.
A lot to talk about in this town hall. If you missed it this afternoon, you can watch it right now on KSAT.com. We also have resources there where you can find out more about organ donation.
All right, there was very little doubt today that humidity was back.
Yes. And lots of gray still, but none of that drizzly stuff.
Yeah, my dad and I were doing a lot of yard work, and he noticed the humidity today.
I bet he did.
He made that very audible that he noticed the humidity. We had some good water breaks. 67, that's the dew point right now. So we're feeling that mugginess. Remember, anything above 60 for that dew point, you feel the humidity. 70 and up is when it gets oppressive. 82 degrees, the actual air temperature. Not overly hot today, that's for sure. 83 now, Helotes, 82 Converse, 85 Hondo. These are pretty close to our high temperatures today. As we go through the evening, quiet, just humid, of course. Increasing clouds, mostly cloudy, then some drizzle late tonight and first thing tomorrow morning. Great. Drizzle. We've had a lot of that, but we need some real rain. And right now, the hopes are looking a little higher and the odds are looking a little bit better for one day in particular. We're going to talk about that, show you the future cast in just a bit.
All right, thanks, Adam. April is Autism Awareness Month, and one local artist using their skill to focus on just that, how they hope this is going to educate people.
Loud cheers, standing applause, all for students furthering their education. What this means for those graduating in the coming weeks.
Let's take a look at traffic out there right now. This is the TransGuide camera, I-35 at Topperwine. You can see that there's one vehicle there on the shoulder. Looks like the real backup is off to the access road. Certainly one lane blocked there, as it looks like crews are trying to take care of that vehicle that's stalled off to the side, but something to be aware of. I-35 at Topperwine.
The San Antonio Symphony is still on strike, and now the music director has been fired. We'll tell you what he says happened and when you might be able to hear the musicians play again on the Night Beat.
It's an event that came with some loud cheers, like somebody was out there playing on the field. But instead, those in the audience were cheering on their peers, furthering their education. KSAT photojournalist Robert Samaron takes us inside the Idea Signing Day, where more than 1,000 students got accepted into colleges, earning millions in scholarships.
Today is the College Signing Day celebration.
We're anxiously waiting to show off which school will be matriculating this fall.
It's a big event because of how much work went into getting into these schools that we're about to announce.
The whole Idea community comes together and celebrates where the kids are going to college.
It's been a different experience from other schools.
Focusing everyone towards college, and we know what we're trying to accomplish. We've got high standards for each other.
It's kind of a time for us to actually enjoy the fact that we made it and that we're here. I definitely feel all of the energy feeding into me.
It's really nice to see that I can just keep pushing myself and see my potential.
Never waver.
I would say it starts from the very start that you step into that school.
It just kind of perpetuates that mentality of, hey, we're all going to college.
That's the mindset that they get you into.
I'm going to do the best I can with what I have kind of mindset. I think that's like
really great opportunity to explore, like, and see and test, like, what I want to do.
It's just a culture, and once you can build that, I think it starts to work.
You're going to encounter multiple problems and challenges throughout not only high school but also college, and that's what they're essentially preparing you for.
I can say I'm proud of all the effort that I've put into school.
Take control and take responsibility of what your education is and what your future will be.
And they believe they're going to be successful, and that's 90% of the battle for any of us.
I worked on it until the very end of my deadline, and I was able to get in. And now I will be attending there, no doubts whatsoever.
I'm pumped up, and I wasn't even there.
I know.
How exciting!
I love it, and they got sent off by an admiral.
That is amazing.
David Robinson.
Yes.
Very cool. Very happy for all those kids out there.
Congrats.
Only lacked a little confetti. Otherwise, I loved the energy.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yes.
It was great. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
We can always use a little confetti.
Yeah.
Always. Doesn't matter.
We still have some stuck up there. That's just.
We really do.
Yeah.
It's lingering.
I think I can. Oh, here.
I don't know if that's gonna. Oh, there we go. I love it.
It's perfect.
Oh, it's a gift that keeps on giving. Viva Fiesta! I'm already looking forward to next year. We're going to have even more fun. All right, we have a lot to talk about weather-wise. Similar conditions through the weekend. That means noticeable humidity, cloudy mornings, a little bit of afternoon sunshine, mornings near 70, afternoons right up near 90 degrees. Monday, that's the day we're watching. Better rain chances as we get into Monday. You take a look at our forecast here, and there's that 10% chance basically every afternoon through Saturday. Sunday up to 20%, but then we ramp up those rain and storm chances Sunday night and into Monday. Right now, we've boosted it to 60%. We're gaining confidence in more coverage of the areas of rain. All right, let's get right to it. Take a look at it. So far, the month of April, just about a quarter of an inch in the bucket at the airport officially. And that's 1.24 inches below average month to date. We have the date circled there, Monday the 25th. That seems like our best shot at rainfall here. And of course, we don't need this reminder, but this is the drought monitor, and particularly along and west of Highway 281, which is where we have the most extreme and exceptional drought, the worst two categories. And most of the state is in drought. Actually, 88% of Texas considered in drought. So we could all use the moisture except for parts of far east and northeast Texas, but wouldn't hurt them to even have a little bit more. So let's talk about it. There's a big system stretching from Canada all the way down the Mississippi to the Gulf of Mexico. A lot of moisture with that, especially moving through parts of the Midwest, snow in the Northland. That's even late season for them. And then moisture and heavy rain in parts of the Great Lakes. Notice this moisture coming on shore in the Pacific Northwest. Washington, Oregon, even Northern California. This big, broad, upper-level swirl. It's a big one, big upper-level disturbance, a beautiful system. We'll take a look at the water vapor imagery coming up next half hour. That's our next chance of rain. This isn't going to be one that digs deep down into our area. The upper-level flow is going to take most of the energy just to the north of us. Here we are Friday. It's main energy near Las Vegas, and then it pushes northward again, probably bringing some more late season snow to some folks farther to the north. But around here, it's going to develop a cold front, and we should have other ingredients in place for that cold front once it moves through to kickstart some scattered showers and thunderstorms. So here's our futurecast starting at Sunday, 6 p.m. Parts of the hill country, Edwards Plateau could see some showers and storms. As we go through time here, don't pay too close attention to exact placement of the potential shower and thunderstorm activity, just the intensity of it and basically the coverage of it, how much of our area it's covering, and that some of those showers could end up being moderate to even heavy in nature at times for some places Sunday night, then off and on through Monday. I mean, all in all, if it goes as planned, we could see an inch of rain in some lucky locations. Say your prayers, cross your fingers. Dew point 67, 82 degrees right now, 87 Pleasanton, Cotulla up to 90. Kerrville, you're 82. For the most part, we've got readings in the 80s. Canyon Lake, meanwhile, 77. But Castroville now 86. Tomorrow morning, most of us near 70, give or take a few degrees. Then by the afternoon, we get back into the 80s, even 90 in spots. Converse 90, Port SA 92, Divine 92, and Gonzales, about 90 degrees. Going through the day tomorrow, low clouds to start, some patchy drizzle, little bit of dampness, but no real rain at near 70 degrees. Then by the noon hour, we start to see the sun come out a bit, near 80. By the afternoon, partly cloudy, well into the 80s, even near 90 degrees. And as we were talking about earlier, there we have it, Monday. Sunday night and especially Monday, we boosted the chances up to 60%. And behind that system, actually a little break in the humidity by Tuesday of next week. Does that mean I get to put my dad to work again when we get a break in the humidity?
Yeah, it's really up to your dad, probably.
Thanks, Adam.
All right, so who's going to play quarterback for the Texas Longhorns? Last year's starter no longer with the team, Larry.
We're talking Hudson Card, right? And Quinn Ewers.
Right.
Quinn Ewers is a 5-star quarterback, so Card definitely has his work cut out for him. Now, he won the QB battle last season, so he's got the experience to fight off an up-and-coming QB. Plus, San Antonio FC is ready to take on Austin FC tonight in a huge match coming up. Spring football is about to come to an end for the Texas Longhorns. They'll practice tomorrow and then cap off spring camp with the orange-white game on Saturday. The big story out of Austin, of course, is the battle for QB1 involving Hudson Card and Ohio State transfer Quinn Ewers. Card faced the same situation last season and beat out Casey Thompson for the starting job, but Card has his work cut out for him this season because Ewers is a 5-star signal caller and the highest-rated QB at Texas since Vince Young.
We make each other better. We bring the best out of each other, and just having competition is good. We're good friends, and we support each other, and it's a natural competition, but it's been good so far.
Hudson is a great quarterback, and we have a good relationship, and I'm excited to work with him and keep going in the spring.
Ewers out of South Lake Carroll High School said he grew up watching UT play and wanted to be in that burnt orange. Plus, he came back to be closer to his family and friends. In the NBA playoffs, Memphis beat Minnesota 124-96 last night to even that best-of-7 series at 1 game apiece. Grizzlies all-star point guard Ja Morant carried the load with 23 points, 10 assists, and 9 rebounds. In the third quarter, Morant takes a knee to his left thigh from Karl Anthony Towns, which knocked Morant down to the court. He would miss the rest of the third and the start of the fourth quarter before returning to play for another 4 minutes before calling it a night. That knee to his thigh was painful, but it was not going to keep him out for very long.
I got kneed in the thigh on the ball screen. Stick this leg out.
So just a bruise?
Yeah, I'm good. I got kneed in the other quad last game. You see how I came out and played. So I'm a warrior, dog. I played on concrete.
Played on concrete. Game 3 is tomorrow night, 6:30 in Minnesota, so not much time for Ja's thigh to heal. The other Western Conference game last night saw the 8th-seeded Pelicans beat the top-seed Phoenix Suns 125-114 to even that series at 1 game all. Suns guard Devin Booker scored 31 points in the first half, but he was knocked out of the game for good in the third quarter after suffering a hamstring injury on this play with less than 5 minutes to go in the third. But in the first half, Booker had this cute interaction with a fan, fist bumping a baby in the courtside seats after he had just made a shot. That's awesome. Game 3 is Friday night in New Orleans. Turning to soccer, San Antonio FC will host MLS side Austin FC in the third round of the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup tonight at Toyota Field. The match will mark the earliest round SAFC has met an MLS club in as part of the Open Cup. Not that long ago, Major League Soccer picked Austin over San Antonio for an MLS franchise, and that didn't sit well with many in the Alamo City. Now the two sides will battle for the right to advance in the U.S. Cup while earning some local soccer bragging rights at the same time.
Ever since then, there's been a little bit of strife, a little bit of beef, which we always love in the soccer community. I think the fans are going to be completely up for it. We're proud of who we are. We're proud of what we're building here in San Antonio, and it's a good time to show our academy kids, all the soccer that it's kind of come through San Antonio, that we mean business and we're a high-level team.
Austin FC versus San Antonio FC is set for 8 tonight at Toyota Field. The Bryce Wisdom Foundation is calling on you to give blood in memory of Bryce. It goes down Tuesday, April the 26th from noon to 7 p.m. at Judson High School Auxiliary Gym. Registration is required. The website is on the screen. Come and join this cause. Give blood. Save a life. Indeed.
Very timely because
Yep.
it's always needed.
Yep.
Yeah. Thanks, Larry.
Our KSAT Q&A with former Congressman Will Hurd is up next.
He's a San Antonio native, went to Marshall High School, was student body president at Texas A&M, a 3-term congressman, and he thinks America needs a reboot. We want to welcome Will Hurd, former congressman, to the KSAT Q&A program. Will, thank you for joining us. Talk about American Reboot and why you felt you needed to write something like this.
72% of Americans think the country's on the wrong track, and this has been a trend that has been growing over the years, and we don't have to accept where we are now. We're at a point politically, culturally, internationally, where it's impossible to get big things done. And that's why I wrote this book and say we don't have to accept this. I lead with a lesson I learned when I was an undercover officer in the CIA about getting off the X. The X is a location where something's going down. And the last place you want to be when something's going down is where it's going down. And so we don't have to accept this moment that we're in. And I learned a lesson back at John Marshall High School when I was studying computer science. When the computer wasn't working and didn't know what to do with it, what did you do? You hit that reset button and got back to a fresh operating system. And I think that's what we need to do as a country.
Turn it off and turn it back on. How do we do that? In this book, you lay out what you call 5 seismic issues facing the country. You talk a lot about politics, obviously. You have served as a Republican, and you talk about issues within the current GOP. What do you think those issues are right now plaguing that party?
Well, look, right now, the Republican Party needs to recognize our real opportunity is growing our coalitions. The likelihood in this upcoming November elections, the House and the Senate is going to be taken back by Republicans. And part of that is because of the incompetence of the other side. And the opportunity we have is to grow coalitions, grow into communities talking about the importance of education. And we're seeing in Texas, when it comes to school choice, we're seeing that the achievement gap between Black and brown communities being eliminated from their white counterparts. This is a good thing. Now, I'm a proud product of public schools, and we should be having the public schools to have the same level of freedom and flexibility. These are the issues we should be talking about and making sure the party starts looking more like America. But it's not just the GOP I talk about national leaders, and we need more leaders that are willing to inspire rather than fearmonger. We just went through elections in Texas. Only 3 million people voted in the primaries. That's Republicans and Democrats out of 30 million. That means 27 million people didn't like what either side was providing. And I believe part of that, and that the part of that's driving that voter apathy, is that you don't have politicians talking about issues people care about, and you have people that are running for office that would rather fearmonger, make you afraid of something, rather than trying to inspire. So I think those are 2 things that need to happen within our political infrastructure.
I'm glad you pointed that out, because yes, you do talk about Republicans, and you are a Republican, but you also talk about bipartisanship, and you talk about something called honest leadership, which I think probably applies whether you're a Republican, a Democrat, or an independent, correct?
No, it absolutely does, right? One of the things my dad taught me, I tell a story about a lesson my dad learned from a gangster in Atlanta, Georgia, prior to being in jail with Jack Ruby. Everybody's going to have to read that story in the book. But my dad learned the one person you can't fool is that person you're looking at in the morning when you're brushing your teeth. And part of that starts about being honest and having a level of intellectual consistency. I behave the same way whether Republicans were in power or Democrats were in power. The lack of that ideological consistency is what's driving a lot of this lack of trust that citizens have in many of our institutions, whether it's the federal government, state government, local government, academia, the news. And so being honest, letting people know what you're doing and why you're doing it, and doing things based on values, I think is a way that we're going to be able to inspire more voters.
Let's talk about what you're doing. You have served as a congressman. Steve talked about a lot of the things that you have done to kick things off here, but what is next for you? Do you have any plans to run for further office?
Well, if the opportunity for me to serve my country again presents itself, then I'll evaluate it. And I've been lucky to have some great experiences coming out of Aggie Land, getting to be a officer in the CIA where I was recruiting spies and stealing secrets was awesome. Representing my hometown of San Antonio in Washington, D.C. for 3 terms was an amazing experience. Right now, I thought the best way I can serve my country is to put some ideas out there on how we can do things differently. We don't have to accept the moment that we're in. And if opportunities present themselves down the line, then I'll evaluate them and see where things go.
Do you think your political career is over?
I'm 44 years old. I've been, I have a lot of time ahead of me. It probably isn't, but I'm like I said, when the opportunity comes, we'll accept it. One of the things I learned from my dad is don't be desperate, right? And I do things because it's a good opportunity, not because I have to. And so if, like I said, I'm honored to be able to serve my country. And if I can do it again and be successful, then we'll think about it.
All right, I want to leave people, and this isn't so much a question because we're going to wrap up here, Will, but you talk about how technology changes over the next 30 years will make the last 30 years look trivial. That's another reason to read this book. I mean, there's so much in here about income inequality and leadership and stories from your past. So I look forward to reading it, and congratulations on putting this piece out there.
Thanks for having me on, y'all.
Absolutely. We'll see you next time, and we'll be right back. April is Autism Awareness Month, and a local artist is teaming up with the Autism Treatment Center to help raise awareness and money for a good cause.
Max Massey introduces us to Dimas Martinez and tells us how you can still get involved.
Local artist Dimas Anthony Martinez is known for his hand-painted custom kicks. Now, Martinez is helping the Autism Treatment Center kick off this year's KRW Kicks for Autism Awareness.
Try to do something to give back to the autism community.
What does it mean to you that you know that your art is helping people dealing with autism, helping families?
I mean, that's always been the goal, or just the point of it all, is just to kind of, have it create positive energy and just it's a better impact than just to go beyond the art, to be something bigger than myself, really.
The Autism Treatment Center helps more than 650 people, and they do so through direct care programs with everything from group homes to various therapy services.
We have programs that help children and adults with autism learn, work, play, and live in the community throughout their lives. So we serve individuals from childhood all the way through adulthood and seniors.
Dimas's designs were already raffled off, but the campaign is not over. The art contest is still underway.
We have this art contest going on, and we have 5 prizes from $50 to $250 gift certificates for art supplies from Hurwicks. The contest goes through Friday.
As for Dimas Martinez, he is working to help his son and help our community.
Helping others as well, especially in the community. This is our city. We need to take care of each other.
Max Massey, KSAT 12 News.
In the buzz, further proof that treasures can be found in unexpected places. A parking lot puddle in Minnesota has become a viral tourist attraction after being dubbed Lake Chipotle for the chain restaurant located conveniently on its banks. Word of the stubborn and scenic puddle spread quickly past local looky-loos to the interwebs, where Lake Chipotle now has a fervent following.
Did you see there was a slow, no wake sign there?
Yeah.
It says it's got its own website, hashtag, Facebook groups, even a spot on Google Maps for this massive puddle in a parking lot.
Minnesota is the land of 1,000 lakes. They just added 10, one more.
10,000. Oh, yeah,
10,000. Sorry, I thought it was just 1,000.
10,001. Do you twist?
I knew I would get his attention with that.
Okay, question. Do you twist your Oreos when you try to take the two sides apart? Well, some MIT researchers are looking at the science behind Oreo twisting. Yeah, there are some big brains focused on this. They're calling it Oreology. They released a report on their efforts to perfectly twist the cookies so that the cream is evenly distributed on each side. They even created a machine for this, an Oreometer. There we go. Oreometer. To precisely split the Oreo.
Yeah, forget atoms. We're splitting Oreos. Scientists found, however, that even if you perfectly split them, the cream almost always ends up on just one of the wafers.
What are we going to do?
What are we going to do?
We need further study and investigation.
Yeah.
Or we could just eat the Oreos.
And not worry about it.
Just move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really pull them apart. I just dunk them in milk.
Pull them apart, dunk them, eat the Oreos.
Kasky, you want to weigh in on this one?
I do both.
Best of
both worlds.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, why not?
Depends on your mood.
And that's the science behind
There you go.
I want to apologize for calling it Land of 1,000 Lakes when it's Land of 10,000 Lakes.
Yeah.
My brother would tell you, actually, it's 11,392 or whatever it is. It's really over 11,000. That just doesn't look as good on the bottom of the license plate.
Yeah.
It's just better just put 10,000.
Yeah.
Okay. We're not counting or anything.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Counting does not seem important here at all.
Not one bit. Hey, 82 degrees right now. Dew point is 67, so it's muggy outside, but it's what you'd expect for this time of year. As we go through the evening, it's going to be pretty uneventful, just the clouds starting to thicken up again later tonight, and then some patchy drizzle overnight and to start the day tomorrow. So a little bit of dampness on the roadways in the morning, but no real good rain to show for it. At 70 degrees by rush hour tomorrow morning. Well, let's talk about better rain chances to come. Take a look at what we have here. Across the state, a quiet day today. A little system stretches northward right up the center of the country, up the Mississippi, all the way into the Great Lakes area. And that's where we have some good soaking precipitation, some heavier precipitation and good heavy rainfall there. I wish we could just pull that into Texas. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. We all know that. But look at this big, broad, counterclockwise circulation in the Pacific here. It's already throwing moisture and showers into parts of Oregon, Washington, and even Northern California. So it's got some moisture with it. It's got some energy as well. It really is a beautiful system. And you look at our water vapor imagery. This is the satellite that detects mid and upper level water vapor in the atmosphere, and that water vapor gets churned around by the winds, and that's why you see these swirls and little bits of vorticity here and there. Just a beautiful upper level system, a big one. And this is going to move eastward. The main energy with it isn't going to be hitting us. That would give us some really good rain if we got the main energy with it, but it's likely to develop a cold front, and that cold front's going to drop in and then increase our rain chances by Sunday night and on into Monday. And not just because we have the cold front. We've had a number of cold fronts for the past 6-7 weeks. But this one, we have other ingredients around as well, including moisture and a little bit of instability to help kickstart some showers and storms. So Sunday evening, maybe Edwards Plateau, Northern Hill Country, a few showers and thunderstorms. And then we go into Monday morning, Monday midday, early afternoon. And we're expecting a little better coverage across South and Central Texas. And don't pay too close attention to the exact placement of the rain on the futurecast, just the mere fact that it's showing it more widespread and just better coverage. So up to 60% on Monday. That's our day. After that, rain chances fall off again for at least a few days. This morning, 69. This afternoon, 84 the high temperature. Dew points are upper 60s near 70. Feel that humidity. That's going to change behind that cold front. Tuesday and Wednesday will actually have a break in the mugginess. Temperatures down mostly 80s, but near 90 along the Rio Grande, and 84 Rio Medina, 82 at the International Airport officially in town. And tomorrow morning, right near 70 degrees. By the afternoon, upper 80s. Lower 90s, Stinson 91, Bernie 87. And as you look at our 12-hour forecast, some patchy drizzle in the morning, starting to see some sunshine by noon. And excuse me, I ran into a chair here. I swear that was a chair. Okay, that was a chair.
We can vouch for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes they're around here and you back into them on this concrete floor. Okay. Anyways, showed you this before, show you again. Upper 80s for high temperatures.
By the way, 11,842 lakes.
Okay, so
in Minnesota. I know your parents are in town, and I know that they want me to be as accurate as possible. So,
Good morning to you. Rise and shine, San Antonio and South Texas. It is Wednesday, April 20th. One man in the hospital after he was hit by a Jeep overnight on the west side. This happened around 11:30 at Culebra and North Zarzamora. That's where police say the victim was walking in the street when he was hit. The driver of the Jeep stopped to help. The victim is currently in the hospital with life-threatening injuries.
Good morning. It's been a busy morning for first responders. San Antonio police were called out to the scene of a rollover involving an 18-wheeler. We know San Antonio police arrived on scene close to 6 o'clock this morning. They say the driver of this 18-wheeler was traveling from Laredo to Dallas. He was taking the connector ramp off of I-35 North to 410 East when part of his wheels caught some of the slick, wet grass off from the side, causing the 18-wheeler to roll over.
New at noon, just days after a suspect stole a man's backpack with 3 Paralympic gold medals inside. That suspect has now been caught. According to a tweet by San Antonio Police Chief William McManus, the U.S. Marshals Service found the suspect near Roosevelt and Loop 410.
The medals were stolen on Saturday night at the Rim. The incident caught on camera, then a tweet about the crime went viral. Police found the backpack with the medals not long after they were stolen. It's not clear what charges that suspect may face.
That's all our time here on the News at 6. Thanks so much for watching.
See you back here on the Night Beat at 10.